Hold on. Let me get right. It's not like we celebrating. It's not like we celebrating at all. No. We don't want to do that. We not celebrating. This is a very serious discussion that I want to have with our people. What are we doing? If you didn't know, Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. He was elected as of recording this video one night ago.
Oh, hell no!
I'll try to be swift. I'll try to be quick. I know there's a lot of feelings that are hurt. In January, Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. He won in almost landslide fashion, taking back some of the battlegrounds. And I have to think to myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? I'm putting it on my 3/4 quarter zip. Because the only way to get through to some of y'all is to start now siding with the enemy. For you to even open up and start a little argument, here to get you to wake up. At the end of this, I want you to understand that the government is not here to save you. The government is not here to save you. 27 years old, I was in student loan debt, doing the college thing, trying to follow the American dream. And for some reason, it was just not working. Student loans piled high, didn't have a house, couldn't really find the job that I wanted. You know, I was working in higher ed. You don't make any money in higher ed. But the more it got to like, hey, this is going to be Obama, this is going to be the Republicans, who owns the House, who has Congress, nothing really changed for me. Now, before you go and skip the video, this is not a ad to try to get you to be a Republican. This is not an ad for you to become a Democrat. But this is a discussion that we have to have on what do we see or deem as incompetent from our political parties. When do we start saying enough is enough? A celebrity who was on WWE fighting Vince McMahon has won 2 elections. Meg Thee Stallion is on stage twerking. Glorilla is performing next to next to the vice president. But one thing that that kind of struck me odd last night, it made me think, it's why didn't Kamala come out and discuss to her supporters what went wrong? Why wasn't there discussion on what could calm our crowd down? If you notice, she didn't go out there and talk to the folks that were at Howard. Take a look.
We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you. And go HU and go Harris. Thank you all.
More like go home. Now, some of you might be like, yo, man, you being cynical. Like, you just rubbing it in. It's not about that. It's not about me being cynical. It's not about rubbing it in. It's about looking at what really happened. And did we put our best foot forward if you're Democrats? Did we put up a strong fight against what was coming? I don't think so. And in all honesty, I think as Americans, we may have dodged a bullet. Because regardless of race, regardless of gender, in that circumstance, you have to show face and you have to talk to the people. Win, lose, draw, you're the leader. And from what I saw, there were a lot of broken hearts, a lot of tears in the crowd, and there was some hope, you know? that didn't just come out of nowhere. There was hope. So I kind of think like, dang, you being kind of like a sore loser. Like what? What's the point? And then I'm talking it over with my wife, and she made it clear that Hillary Clinton did the same thing. She conceded through a phone call, but then addressed her crowd in the morning. And like I said, I waited a day to see what was going on. So Kamala. She didn't address her party until in the afternoon. Gave a little 12-minute speech, which I won't play because that's not the point of this. I really believe that the Democrats threw this election. I've been saying it all summer, but it's like I don't want to be this political pundit. That's not my character. Like I want y'all to laugh. I want to get into some of the funny content and all that stuff again. But this one, you follow me. They threw it. Remember, this all started 90 days before the election. So we have an expectation that somebody's supposed to be here to do an impossible mission. Defeat Donald Trump in a 90-day election window. Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris. Let me show some respect. She was a surprise pick for the DNC, right? She didn't do an interview until 30 days into her campaign. Like a serious interview. And when she did do an interview, I think that's when she popped up with Waltz, right? I'll get to that in a second too. It seemed like she was put up to accomplish an impossible task. And guess what? It got all of our hopes up. It got all our hopes up. YouTube was throwing around, is she a black female? Is she Jamaican? Is she Indian? We don't know what she is. Like in 30 days, it was a storm. Could you imagine if there was more time to kind of dig up dirt on her? You know what I mean? And then the other thing is like when you really go into it, when you look at the resume, look, who am I? I'm doing YouTube, right? But I look back, and has this person won any major elections of substance? And when you actually go through the resume, it's a no. Willie Browns. If you go back and look at Willie Browns, he is the person that put Kamala in this position and got her the DA role. But they say black men don't support any women in America. We don't have any parts in the elections or supporting our people politically. But remember that name. Google Willie Browns. Then you remember Kamala ran for president. She did so bad. She bombed. She didn't get any votes during the primaries. Not a selection. And then when it came to Joe Biden being picked, who makes the call again? Willie. How can we get her in the office? Not vice president, but how do we get her in the office? And it just ended up being vice president. Obama had contention against that. This brings me to my other major point. Why not pick Josh Shapiro? When you look at it, why not pick Josh Shapiro? He's the governor of Pennsylvania, the battleground state that is essential to kind of set up the blue wall. And you do not pick? You don't make that pick? Is it because you're pompous and you don't want anybody smarter than you in your cabinet that can tell you what to do and kind of hold you accountable? I doubt that. That doesn't make sense. I find that hard to believe. What I truly believe happened is, hey man, like, we not gonna waste Josh Shapiro on that. He gonna be our next guy up. So let's move Josh away from this train wreck. Not even make him an option, and let Kamala go into this kind of soft slaughter. It'll be good for her to be in the front. But this is making a lot more sense now, right? Right? Why don't you align yourself with battleground allies that can help you sway the election? Unless the DNC knows what's going on for sure. Gavin Newsom. Why wouldn't you align yourself with Gavin Newsom? You already got California on lock, but once again, let's build some allies and put some folks around you on a grand stand to show that you're a valid pick for the nation. I didn't see Gavin, and I didn't see Josh Shapiro. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys comment, show me clips, send me something, because I didn't see those folks. But guess what? Guess what we did, Black America? And I'm still on my Black America train. We ate it up. We ate it up. We took the pie and was like, oh man, this is great. Oh, I sat there and watched Steve Harvey. Show me the next vice president of the United States. D.L. Hughley arguing with people online. Ricky Smiley crying Ricky Smiley. And then the Divine Nine worship over Kamala, Vice President Kamala Harris. But there were certain things that she didn't do. She didn't give us hard, correct answers. She didn't give us correct policy. She went out of her way to talk to us about how Black Americans are not going to get reparations. And I'm not saying it's feasible to even do that, but help with this burden of the economy, which is the reason why you lost. Put two and two together. When you see all the policies that they were laid out, the economy is the prime reason why we are where we are today. That wasn't taken seriously enough. When you hear economic strength in America, unfortunately, America has spoken. They believe it lies with the Republicans and Donald Trump. Think about that. Think about that. Where are we? Black America, where are we? And this is why I always scratch my head when I hear everyone say, we can't get anywhere as a people. Well, you know why? We vote for people, not policy. We focus on dysfunction, not functionality. We're so focused on dysfunction. We go for shine rather than substance. It should have been a red flag when 10 days in to the selection for the DNC. I told you this before in the previous video. Where were the Obamas? It took 10 days. 10 days for the Obamas to say, you know what, okay, we're going to side with it. And it felt forced. Hold on. I'm feeling parched. Drinking my America beer. Can't have a shot. You know, got things to do in the morning. But 10 days. And I bet you it's because, you know, Obama's trying to do the right thing. Let's go through a real vetting process to find a candidate to replace Biden. And then the Dems probably saying, hey, look, we don't have a lot of time. It almost seems appropriate to put the VP in. And look, we don't even care about this one anyway. Right? I mean, can you say the Democrats really cared about this election? Can you really say that? To me, it felt like a money pull and a celebrity parade. Cardi B reading from her phone nervously, whatever, you know, text message was given to her, whatever prompt was given to her. Glorilla, it's 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degrees. She is not the president. She's still the VP. Off the dome. And Beyonce, right? Who knows how much she got paid? Where does that money go? Where does all the campaign money go? I wish I knew. I'm going to look it up. I'm definitely going to look it up. But felt like a money grab. Felt like our hopes was all put up. And they were shot down. But I want you guys to look at this loss because there's one thing for certain. This was the most important election, at least I think, in my generation, in my timeline. Let me explain why. Because right now, if you thought back then Donald Trump had the juice, Congress will be red. The Senate will be red. And those two Supreme Court judges could retire. Could retire during Trump's term. Don't be surprised. And then we can see Trump put in 2 new Supreme Court judges, young with his perspective. Now, with that being said, wouldn't you think the Dems would have taken this a little bit more seriously? I'm not saying that VP Kamala Harris was the wrong choice. I'm just saying the support didn't feel appropriate. And we saw that last night. Trump is doing all these podcasts, which I think were a superb way of making him look human, right? When I saw him on Theo Von, it was like, I know, look, this is a slam dunk. Theo Von, you got the white male vote. He seems human to the white males and even maybe the boyfriends that go to their girls and they listen to it together. You don't know how that stuff works. Dave Ramsey, Tennessee. That's his base, Tennessee. Ain't think about that. You know what I'm saying? So he does the Dave Ramsey show. He does Andrew Schultz, Flagrant. Seems human there. Can shoot some jokes. VP Kamala Harris she's playing backwards, right? She's playing a little bit, oh, let me catch up. Where's Shannon Sharp? Where's Charlamagne the God? Who else is popping? You should have been on that early. Look young, look fresh. But I don't think the Dems, they cared enough about this election. Not at all. I didn't feel it. This is a huge Democratic misstep. So at the end of the day, I don't want to, it's not to me to like belabor the point. I don't want you to feel bad about your vote. I want you to feel bad that the Democrats continue to show us that they don't strategize and prioritize our needs. Whether you're, a middle-class family, whether you're a black American male, whether you're a black female, think about it. Go back years. Ask yourself, how have you benefited from this, from these like positions of office when I keep saying when the Democrats ran things. I'm in my Republican quarter zip. The Democrats didn't strategize enough to avoid this. I felt like I was watching the Eagles, Great team, great talent, but there's just somebody at the top that just, it ain't our time yet. If this election was so important, why did Democrats fumble so bad?